She is the founder and director of Prisoners Are People Too, and co-chair of the Erie County Prisoners' Rights Coalition, both based in Buffalo, New York. For 30 years, Karima's activism has prevailed in public school education and the performing arts. Her social justice work has focused on the plight of people incarcerated and the challenges of reentry, and she was recently named Distinguished Humanitarian of 2009 by the University of Buffalo's College of Arts and Sciences Alumni Association. Yeah. Welcome, Karima.
Once, there was a boy who loved stories. He loved stories more than anything else in the whole world. In fact, there was nothing he liked better than to sit in a circle with his elders around a fire, and he would listen to their stories. They told wonderful stories, stories that made him laugh, stories that made him cry, stories that made him think. And even when he heard the same stories told over and over again, it really didn't matter. Because when he listened, really listened, he always heard something new and always learned something new. One evening, something happened that the boy was not expecting. The elder seated next to him turned to him and said, "Son, now you go ahead and tell your story." The boy was a little bit taken aback. It frightened him just a little, and he mumbled and he stumbled and he stammered, and he finally said, "I will tell a story, but I don't know how to begin." Another elder spoke to him, saying, "You must begin as all stories do. Simply say, there was, and there was not." So the boy tried. He said, there was, and then he stopped again and said, "I can't say those words because I don't know what they mean." Another elder spoke, saying to him, "When you say there was, and there was not, what you are saying is, I'm about to tell a story. And if you like it, good, but if you don't, still good. If you love it, wonderful. But if you don't like it at all, that's all right. I'm going to tell a story." So the boy began again, saying, there was, and there was not. But he stopped again, shook his head, saying, "I can't tell a story because I don't know any stories. In fact, I don't even know how to read." Another elder spoke, saying, "Reading is wonderful, and books are wonderful indeed, but the best stories are not in books. The best stories are in your heart. So unlock your heart now, open your mouth, and tell your story." So the boy began again, saying, there was, and there was not. But he stopped again, for it seemed as though the words turned to dust in his throat. It seemed as though the words turned to pebbles in his mouth, and he couldn't speak. Finally, an elder asked, "Son, what's wrong? Why don't you tell your story?" And the boy said, "I can't tell a story because I am afraid. I'm afraid I won't get the words just right." Another elder spoke after a long absence, saying, "Son, there's no such thing as just right. I tell it my way, she tells it her way, he tells it his way. Now you must tell it yours." So the boy began again, saying, there was, and there was not. And he told this story. I don't know what story he told, but I know it was a good story because it was a story that came from his heart. We have just witnessed a wonderful event. And our stories are a part of a huge fabric of struggle, service, and activism. In Buffalo, New York, representing both Prisoners Are People Too as founder and director, and representing the Erie County Prisoners' Rights Coalition as co-chair, my story is important too. But each of us has a story to share. And one thing I say to people very often is the story that you're most fearful of sharing is the one you need to share. I know too that on this place and on this day and this space, looking at all of you, I'm probably speaking to the choir. But I hope this story reminds you of your responsibility to encourage, to inspire, and to motivate others not to be afraid. to tell their stories, so that their stories too will become a part of this huge fabric of activism and compassion and integrity. Our stories are important, but so many stories are not being told because people are afraid. All of the world's great religions tell us not to be fearful and to have faith and to believe in a power greater than ourselves. In the Bible, the phrase "fear not" appears 366 times, one for each day, even in the leap year. We should fear not and tell others to fear not. Too many people won't speak up, won't step up because they're worried about their job. Some folks won't speak up or stand up or speak out because they're fearful of a beatdown. Some people won't stand up, speak up, and speak out because they're fearful of what somebody else is going to say about their opinion. It's important for us to remain strong. It's important for us to inspire public outcry. It's important for us to encourage, motivate, and inspire others to join this movement, to join this struggle. Let their stories become a part of this fabric, and to motivate and to move the world in the way that we know it can be done. Like I said, I know I'm speaking to the choir, but it's our responsibility to inspire others not to be afraid, to fear not, and to tell their stories. Thank you.
Last up, we have Victorio Reyes. He's an activist, poet, musician, a member of a local hip-hop band, Broadcast Live, and father of two. Don't know how he manages it. He has been the director of the Social Justice Center of Albany for over 5 years, an organization that works for progressive social change through mutual support and collective action. Please welcome Victorio Reyes.
How's everybody? The New York State criminal justice system is completely unacceptable. Period. The question is, what are we going to do about it? The purpose of this conference is to answer this question. 57 organizations from every corner of New York State have come together here today. From Nassau County to Erie County, from Harlem to Plattsburgh. People are here to help create a New York State Prisoner Justice Network. Now, this is not your typical conference. It has been organized democratically with input from every sponsoring organization. And it is through this collective process that we can find our strength. For today, we're here to establish a network so that we can share our ideas and develop strategies for accomplishing our goals. But I want to be crystal clear. The ultimate goal behind this conference is to reimagine the concept of justice in New York State. Let's remember the communities that are most affected by this system. People of color, specifically Black and Latino people, LGBTQ individuals, and poor people of all backgrounds. The criminal justice system is quite possibly the most discriminatory institution in this nation. And make no mistake about it, the courtroom is today's lunch counter. And it's time to bring the fight to the appropriate battleground. Thank you.